Hi everybody, Cindy, Gary, and Tracy with Pathways Homestead. We are visiting Tracy here at Kansas Garden Guy, and we are checking everything out. Look at that garden behind us, y'all. We've already got the grand tour, and if you have not checked out Tracy, I'm going to put a link to his channel right up here. And you go and check him out. We're having a great visit and a good time. So Tracy, tell us what kind of cucumbers you got going on here.
These are Diomede cucumbers, and these are from seed packet from Haas Tools, if you guys are familiar with Haas Tools. I buy most of my seeds from Haas Tools, and these are what they consider their standard market cucumber, and they are supposed to produce 3 to 4 times more cucumbers than a standard Market More 76 or anything like that. And as you can see, you know, these are beautiful looking. They got a beautiful color to them, beautiful texture to them. They don't have a lot of seeds in them, and I've been picking them when they say they average anywhere from 9 to 10 to 11 inches long is when you want to pick them. So I know this is like the perfect size cucumber, but I've been letting them go another day or two to get that little bit of size to them.
How are the seeds on the inside?
They're really small, and they're very compact. It's not like the Market More 76, which we have a row of them over there. They're very big, and I call them loosey-goosey. They're like all over the place, it seems like, inside. These are very tight and very compact. It's almost like that little muncher cucumber over there. It's the same kind of consistency on the inside.
His garden, guys, is amazing. And like I said, if you have not checked him out on YouTube, you need to go over there. Kansas Garden Guy.
Cut that one open.
I'm saying that right, aren't I, Tracy?
Yes.
Awesome. Wow, look at that.
Inside.
Nice slicers right there.
Lots of meat between the seed core and the rind. Lots of meat.
When I say these produce, I'm not even
Pretty
moving.
cucumber.
And the peel isn't bitter, is it?
Mm-mm.
Wow. Tracy, say again where you got those.
Off of Haas Tools. I buy most of my seeds from Haas Tools. You guys can see, like I said, they're a very good producing cucumber. I haven't even moved, and I've picked 6 cucumbers and staying in one spot.
Wow.
That's how closely tight knit they are together. You don't have to walk far for food, I'll tell you that. And I thought putting these 4 rows
I've
in
got
here.
big hands, and look how big that cucumber is.
That's awesome.
I thought putting
it's
4
not gonna
rows
be
was
bitter.
not going to be enough in here, and I think 2 rows would have been perfect. But yeah, that's just how I work it, though. So next year, watch,
Go big
I'll
or
have
go
10
home.
rows in here next year.
Yeah.
And this is your first year putting in this large of a garden, correct?
Yes, correct.
So you kind of got the go big or go home mentality.
Well, my mentality is my mom, when she bought the seed packs and stuff, you know, let's say there was 250 seeds in there, and she wanted to put half a dozen tomatoes up. She would plant the 6 tomato plants and then put the other seeds up for the next year and pray that they germinated. My mentality is, if I'm going to spend $3 for a seed pack of 250, I'm going to put 250 tomatoes up. And if I average 25%, that's what I say that you're going to lose from either blight, animals, non-germination, partial germination, the stuff you throw away. I would rather throw away 50 tomato plants and have 150 to put up than have 6 tomato plants and lose 3.
Right.
And then you're stuck with 3. If it takes 6 tomato plants to make your family survive for the year and you lost 3, you've lost a lot.
Yeah.
But if you have a couple hundred tomato plants and you lost 100, you still have 100 tomato plants.
Right.
And the seed packet still costs the same whether you use 1 or 200
Right.
seeds. It's all
Right.
the same, you know.
That's
That's how I thought about it.
Numbers.
Do what?
It's like feedlot numbers.
Yeah, exactly. You know.
I run the pasture and have 10, 15 head, and I lose 2, and it's killing me. And guys that run 3,000 in feedlot, and they lose 20%. It's okay.
Yeah, and you think about that, man, 20%, man, that's a lot.
It's
But
a lot
then,
of calves,
but
yeah.
then you look at what you have overall, and
Mm-hmm.
so that's how I've kind of ran this whole thing this year. Like I said, I started with this. Last year our garden was this size, the size of this little area here, which is probably, I would say, probably 25 by 60 probably. The year before it was half of that, the year before it was half of that, and the year before it was just basically probably a 5 by 5 spot. So every year I've doubled. I've tried to double, and this year I've actually done a lot more than doubled. This year I actually wanted to try an experiment. For you guys that do watch Cindy channel and watch my channel, you'll know that next year we're starting our full-time market garden, and so this is kind of my experiment here, where I was growing what I liked, and I was growing what people would comment on my channel, or my friends would comment and say, hey, you should grow these, you know, we would be willing to buy these from you, or this kind of pepper, or this kind of tomato. So what I did is I wrote it all down in a book, and then when it came time to buying my seeds, that's how I went to buy my seeds. I thought, okay, well, I had friends that liked cherry tomatoes. Of course, everybody likes cherry tomatoes. My wife likes the black cherry tomatoes. I have some friends that like chocolate cherry tomatoes, and then just big large red cherry tomatoes. So I took that in turn and said, you know, if I did a mix, maybe I could sell a mix for $4 a pint, easier than selling red cherries for $4 a pint that you can see in the store. You can't go to the store and get a mix unless it's Sun Golds or anything like that, and they're way more than $4 a pint. So I figured for $4 a pint, I'd be making a little bit of money, and it would pay for my time, and the way cherry tomatoes produce, you would be able to, you know, make your money back on that. So that's what we did. We did black cherry, chocolate cherry, and then mixed large red. So just something else to offer your customers. But that's the concept of kind of how I was thinking of this. Is when I started growing these certain seeds, I watched different channels on YouTube like you guys do, and I was trying to see what worked for them in their area, and then I would try it in our area. And if it didn't work, I was out $3 and it didn't work, and I know next year, okay, I can't plant this style of cucumber next year. I need to plant this style, or this style of pepper, or what's going to work and what's not going to work. So that's how I kind of went with all this. I know it's kind of a madman kind of way of doing it. Most people will do a lot of searching, and then we'll plant a couple here and a couple here and a couple here. I'm all in or none. That's how I was going to go with this. It's all in or none.
So you've got a very productive, well thought out garden.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, that's very good.
And I'm not even getting the watermelon and cantaloupe patch down there. And then over here is his okra and squash. It's got corn.
And like we were talking about earlier, on my channel I've mentioned it a lot. On my latest video I mentioned it. Everything here runs on drip irrigation, from my corn to the okra doesn't, because okra doesn't need a lot of water. So whatever God gives you on that is what it gets. I don't water that at all. But I'm a big believer in this drip irrigation. I think it's the way to go 100% if you're going to do any type of garden and keep it growing green in the Kansas heat. I mean, by no means is this South Georgia or Louisiana or anything like that, but 95, 96 degree days for weeks on end with no rain in sight sometimes.
Yeah.
And you know, where we're at here, I have no trees.
And we'll go 6 weeks without rain at times.
Yeah, exactly. And when there's no cover,
Yep.
you know, it's hard to water and keep anything alive here. And I think this drip irrigation, it's costs a little money on the going into it, but I think we've saved a lot of money. We will from now on just watering alone.
It's a good investment.
It's a very good investment. I think you can go as small or as big as you want. I went very big because I did everything on drip, but you could go as small as $30 and get a drip system to do a couple raised beds for $30, $40 and do it that way. You know, for each one of these emitters is on 12-inch centers, and it puts out 0.45 gallons of water per hour per emitter. So you let this run for 3 hours, you get a gallon of water at each one of these corn stalks, and that's all you do every 2-3 days. I mean it's these. Like I was telling them earlier, is I'll turn my corn on for 3 hours and I'll go mow the grass for 3 hours and then come back and shut it off, and corn's watered. You know, and nobody would know the wiser because there's no overhead watering here. It's all done by drip. And the other thing I was telling Cindy and Gary earlier was, like with my squash and my zucchini, we planted 25 squash and zucchini plants here in March, like everyone else does around here. And you know, you lose a couple to squash bugs, and you know, even everybody gets squash bugs. or you get a disease, or you get wilt, or like you can see, these two on the end here are 3 months old. They're still producing, but they're on their way out right now. I'm a big believer in like succession planting. There's a lot of channels that I've watched on YouTube, from no-till growers to like Satin Hill Farms and stuff, even the Fit Farmer. All them guys, they do a lot of succession planting. They do market gardens. So that was the model I wanted to go to. And so I've got 3-month-old squash and zucchini here. I've got 3-week-old squash and zucchini here. I've got week-old squash and zucchini here, and I've got 3 or 4 day old squash and zucchini. So hopefully, while I know everybody, it's squash and zucchini is one of those things, is everybody, it hits all at the same time, and everybody's got so much squash and zucchini, you couldn't pay somebody to take it from you. But if I could provide squash and zucchini to my customers in August, September, October, I mean, that would be something that would be a market, I think, for market gardeners to be able to produce squash and zucchini. Because when the squash and zucchini is done by July and August and it's over and you don't get it again and you can't wait till next year to get squash and zucchini, you know, I could be selling this at my stand. And this is all, you know, locally Kansas grown stuff. It's not stuff that's bought from another state and brought in. This is grown right here in Kansas.
Cool. Super cool.
3 weeks old, and I've got 3 squash on it, and I've already got a squash and it's less than 3 weeks old. Wow. These are Dixie hybrid here. That's another squash from the south.
I was looking at some of those.
Yeah. But like I said, I'm, you know, a lot of people, I'm on some gardening websites in Kansas, just like most of you guys are. And
that's how I found you.
Oh yeah, that's
us
right.
Chatting on
that's right.
Kansas gardeners.
That's right. See all these little squash bugs here. So I do get squash bugs, guys, just like everybody else does. You can see here. Everybody always comments on why I never have squash bugs. Well, I do. They're here. I just haven't been able to do any type of spraying or anything to keep these off. But
trouble with bugs this year, but we've also seen a huge abundance of assassin beetles this year.
You're correct. I've got them over in my cantaloupe patch. I was showing my wife, there was one probably about 1.5 inches long, and she said, "What kind of bug is that?" I said, "Well, don't let it bite you." I said, "That's an assassin bug. That thing that'll put a welt on you."
Yeah, and it hurts. It hurts.
I said they are awesome to have though, because they'll kill everything and anything in the garden.
I'm bad about going barefooted, and I stepped on one, but where I stepped, he was between my toes, and he stung me right between my toes. I swole up.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine getting stung by one of those guys.
I was looking for a bee, you know?
Yeah, you would think a bee or something. And
it was a assassin beetle. I gotta show you this lavender basil. It looks like lavender. Then when you get down here, you can tell that it isn't quite a lavender. Y'all, it tastes like those the mint Neckos. If you like mint Neckos, however you pronounce those candies, you will like that. Lavender basil, it tastes so good. That'd be so good in some lemonade or some tea. So good. It's beautiful. So look at all those beautiful vegetables that we have picked up. Oh, that jalapeno, isn't that pretty? Those purple peppers. Tracy has given us a bountiful basket. Here are the green beans that Tracy gave us at Kansas Garden Guy. We added some of our little potatoes and some of our homegrown pork. The onions we've grown here. So the only things in here that did not come from us or from Tracy are the salt and pepper. So we've got onion, potatoes, bacon pieces, green beans, garlic, salt and pepper. We put a little bit of water in the bottom of this pan and boiled it for a couple hours and cooked those green beans, and it is ready to eat. That is our supper for tonight. So thank you, Tracy from Kansas Garden Guy. All right, so we're coming to the end of our visit, and we're going to tell you guys bye, and we're going to continue to visit. And Tracy, thank you for having us. And
You're very welcome.
The vegetables are amazing.
Thank you.
And I'm going to get this camera angle right. I'm still learning, y'all. But anyway, again, thanks for having us. And he gave us an amazing basket full of vegetables, and we'll get them out and put them in the truck, and so he can keep his basket. And his garden is amazing, makes me a little jealous. I've been teasing him about hogging all the rain. But yeah, go check him out, Kansas Garden Guy, on YouTube and on Facebook, and check him out. What's the name of your farm?
Summer Pick Farms.
Yeah, he just got going with that, y'all. He's up here in northeast Kansas, and you can check him out, and he can let you know where he wants you to know where he's at. I'm kind of a little reserved on that. I don't want to put anybody on the spot. But again, thank you guys for coming along with us today. I hope you enjoyed this, and y'all have a blessed day.
See ya.